You need 2 or 3 core people who understand the system, who are able to do the paperwork and able to navigate through the system. You need at least one person to be your advocate, to be independent and stand up for your rights, but will also tell you that you have responsibilities that you have to fulfill. Otherwise, you're not cooperating with the system.
The job that I got given, the way I was treated by everyone, like, you know what I mean? I'm normally all right. I'm all right with people giving me, you know, a nudge, 1 or 2. But if about 50 people give me a nudge, I was in a very dark place.
Work was a bit tricky in the beginning, and I just was fortunate that I could stop going for a while, and they were very understanding that I needed to fix this before I could move on. And I work part-time and very flexi hours, so I was able to work around it.
The negativity from my work, I reckon, made my back worse because boss wasn't very good. There was a lot of social bullying through work too. So when I was trying to recover, they would go on Facebook and say things like, oh, how can you go for a 4-wheel drive or go fishing like just one day? But you can't expect them to stay home cooped up, or you go a bit mental in the head because you just can't do anything. I reckon workers see it as you're just slacking and you're a bludger, especially at a young age. Like, that's what I copped a lot more compared to being older. They're very stereotypical. So they think, oh, if you're old, it's normal, but if you're young, you're just trying to screw around with the system. When that's not the case. Like, doesn't matter how old or young you are, you can still tweak something. Like, no one's invincible.
When there's work-related pain, there are other parties or people involved. Obviously, yourself and your employer is the first one. So in that instance, having early on clear communication with the employer about what your injury is and what the expectations are, and based on that, how your duties might be modified or what options there are available for you so you can still stay engaged at work.
As a GP, I feel that having a work-related injury adds an extra dimension to the problems that you have to deal with pain. Not only because there is often an element of who is responsible for the injury in the first place, how the person with pain recovers, how they return to work, if they return to work, and then there are issues often with insurers, return to work programs, who pays for the care that this person needs, and then eventually even lawyers can get involved in the end, and then that becomes extraordinarily stressful and also very, very time-consuming, not only for the patient, but for a vast number of people, and including the employers and co-workers.
So if I was the boss, the things I think would be helpful for the person would be more cooperate more with what they want and check in on them, because mine never checked in. Don't humiliate them in front of people and just put them down and say they're lying and all that stuff, and just get over it, because it's not actually that easy, especially if they don't know what's going on.
A good GP, and for that matter, a good allied health worker, physio, OT, psychologist, can help by first of all acknowledging that there is a problem that needs to be addressed. So dealing with the paperwork and all the problems associated with being a worker returning to work is also the additional factor of pain, and it needs to be acknowledged. And the way to treat it is to be able to navigate the system. You have to understand the system, have to understand the needs of the worker, the needs of the employer, the needs of the insurer, and the needs of the other people who are in the work environment that this worker is employed in.